She's not coming back, and deep down you know that. But for some reason, you still check your phone, you're replaying the memories you guys had together. You still wonder if you could have done more. So why is it so damn hard for you to let go? Today, I'm going to show you how to finally break free, because holding on to someone who's already let go is emotional suicide. Let's fix that. Jessica OS here. Welcome to the channel. Hashtag Real Jessica OS. Oh, yeah, I've lost a bet and I have to wear temporary tattoos for a week. Anyway, so over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the exact psychological trap that keeps you stuck on her, the secret shift that finally sets you free, and the one thing most men never do but need to if they want peace and power back. You ready? Let's go. Number one, you're not addicted to her, you're addicted to the feeling. This is where most men get trapped. They think they're still in love, that they can't move on because she's their person, their soulmate, right? But what you miss is actually the emotional cocktail that she gave you. The dopamine hits from every kiss, the adrenaline rush every time her name popped up on your screen, the safety perhaps that you felt when she was lying next to you, even if half the time the connection was already fading. Let me tell you, it's not her you miss, it's the high. Mid-scroll through her Instagram stories, your heart suddenly racing over the dumbest thing, her holding a wine glass, smiling with some guy, wearing something a little extra revealing. Your body reacts like you're in danger because your nervous system thinks that she's your source of validation, your emotional drug. You've built an addiction to being needed, to being chosen, and to being desired. And right now, her absence feels like withdrawal. That's why you can't sleep. That's why the silence feels so loud. Ever tried going cold turkey on a woman? It's harder than quitting cigarettes, harder than quitting porn if you're into that thing, right? That's how deep this goes. So what do? You cut the supply. You stop checking her socials just to see how she's doing. You stop replaying those voice notes. You stop letting her memories seduce you into this emotional relapse. You don't wean yourself off a drug like that. You cut it off. And no, this isn't about being cold or bitter. I want you to recognize that your mind has created a loop. And every time you revisit her pages, reread her old messages, or imagine bumping into her in public, you're feeding that loop. You're reinforcing the addiction. The truth is, if she was the only source of your happiness, then you were perhaps never in love. You were dependent. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is, right? You ever noticed how some men fall apart after a breakup while others level up? The difference isn't the woman, it's where they placed their power. If your emotional state is entirely tied to her presence, you've handed her the keys to your identity. I want you to take those keys back. It's not about forgetting her. It's about reprogramming your nervous system to stop associating her with peace, to stop believing that love only exists in her arms. Because, to be honest, how can you ever be ready for the right woman if you're still emotionally tethered to the wrong one? Number two, stop romanticizing a one-sided story. When we replay the past, we tend to skip all the messy parts, all the disrespect, all the moments that she pulled away. I mean, if she really loved you the way you loved her, would you be watching this video right now? Would you be listening to me? I don't think so. Don't let nostalgia trick you into rewriting history. That fantasy version of her doesn't exist anymore. I'll get brutally honest. You're not stuck because she was so amazing. I believe you're stuck because your brain has edited the past into a highlight reel. You're only replaying the good mornings, the laughs, the sex, the way she said your name when she was happy, but you're not rewinding to the disrespect, the manipulation, the cold silences, the way she made you feel like a burden when you needed her the most. The trap is, we don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with the version of them that made us feel most alive. And when it ends, we kind of cling on to that version. The one who cuddled you in the morning, the one who said, I've never felt like this before. The one who basically made promises when she was emotionally high, but couldn't deliver when they actually mattered. You know what you're doing? You're painting a full picture with half the truth. If you only remember the best parts of her breakup, you're not healing, you're hallucinating. Truthfully, just because there were moments of pleasure doesn't mean that she was good for you. Don't let temporary highs blind you to long-term damage. If she really loved you, she would have stayed consistent. She wouldn't have needed constant convincing. You wouldn't have had to decode mixed signals like you were trying to crack the Da Vinci Code, right? If your memory of her is more beautiful than your actual experience with her, then I'm sorry, but you're in fantasy land. A one-sided story where you're the hero and she just happened to be the leading lady. Except in real life, she left the script and you've been trying to write her back in ever since. The most dangerous lies are the ones that we tell ourselves. I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you, right? Especially the ones that start with, well, maybe if I just did this or did that. What do you do instead? Journal the ugly truth. Write down the red flags, the time she ignored your boundaries, the way she made you feel. Stop building shrines in your mind to a woman who didn't worship you back. Because every time you glorify her, you devalue yourself. Let the real version of her live, not the fantasy version that keeps you emotionally enslaved. Number 3, you made her your peace, and that was the mistake. You didn't just fall in love with her. You built your entire emotional stability around her. She became your peace, your calm, your distraction from that personal chaos that you experienced. And that right there was a fatal error, if I could say that. You outsourced your sense of self to a woman who had no business being your anchor. And now that she's gone, you're drifting because you never learned how to be your own source of peace in the first place. You see, when a man makes a woman his emotional center, he loses his edge, his confidence, and eventually her respect. She became your therapist, your motivator, your mirror, your source of validation. And you see, let me tell you something. When you put that kind of weight on one person, it cracks the relationship. She stops being your woman and starts being your emotional caretaker. And you see, no woman signs up to babysit a man's identity. That's the truth. The more you leaned onto her to feel okay, the less attractive you became. Because masculine energy thrives on internal control, direction, stability. And when that's gone, she'll sense it. And it shifts the dynamic, right? A woman might love you, but if she has to constantly stabilize you, she'll eventually resent you. What's the fix? Build your own inner peace first. Because when you make a woman the only thing keeping you grounded, you're actually giving her too much power. You stop becoming that calm in the storm, and you become the man who falls apart when the wind shifts. So shift your mindset. Let her complement your peace, not become it. Let her add to your life, not be your life. Because when your confidence is self-generated, you stop chasing her approval every step of the way. You stop fearing her absence. You stop crumbling when things go wrong. You become the man she respects, the man who doesn't need her to feel whole, but chooses her from a place of strength. You want her to feel safe to be with you? You need to be safe within yourself first. Number 4, closure isn't given, it's chosen. All right, so let's kill one of the biggest lies men tell themselves after a breakup. I just need one conversation. I just want her to explain why. If I could just get closure, I'll be able to move on. No, you wouldn't, and nobody owes you closure. You see, you'll get that one last talk and would open 10 more wounds. She might say, I still care about you, and confuse the hell out of you. She might give you a vague excuse like, I'm just not ready, and leave you stuck in limbo. Or worse, she might not respond to you at all and you'll spiral again. Hear me. Closure is not something she gives you. Closure is something you decide. Waiting for closure from someone who walked away without explanation is like standing in the rain hoping the storm apologizes to you. You're waiting for her to validate your pain. You want her to admit that she was wrong. You want her to regret what she did so it justifies how much you're hurting. But listen, even if she does say sorry, it won't bring you peace. Because what you're really craving is not closure. It's a reason to keep holding on, if you'll be honest with yourself. And that's what keeps you stuck. You see, closure isn't her saying she's sorry. Closure is you saying, I'm done begging for clarity from someone who gave me chaos. Let this sink in. You don't need her to explain why she stopped loving you. You don't need her to walk you through her emotional process. In fact, you don't need her blessing to move on. What you need is to take your power back. What does real closure look like? It's when you tell yourself, I deserve better than someone who could walk away like that. I may not understand everything, but I don't need to. I can let go without needing her to feel bad about it. Some people won't give you closure because they benefit from your confusion. Remember that. They like knowing you're still wandering, still hoping, still stuck. Don't give them that power. You don't need her explanation. What you need is your own decision. You end the story by closing the book, not by rereading the last chapter, hoping that the ending will change. Come on. Number 5, if you can obsess over her, you can build an empire. So you've been using your energy to replay the past, to stalk her stories, to fantasize about the random what-if conversations that never actually happen, to relive moments that are already dead. But here's a truth you don't want to admit. If you can obsess over a woman, if you can memorize her every mood, her favorite color, the way she tilts her head when she's annoyed, then you've got something that most men don't. Hear me, you've got discipline, focus, and emotional fire. You've just been pouring it into the wrong damn container. She's not the goal, she was the distraction. And now that she's gone, you're finally free to build something that lasts. Here's a shift. Take that obsession and aim it forward. If you can lose sleep thinking about her, you can lose sleep building a business, fixing your body, developing your mind, creating a life that commands respect. Because the truth is, your attention is the most powerful currency that you have. And every second that you spend it giving to someone who walked away from your life is a second stolen from your future. Remember that. Stop asking if she's thinking about you. Start making sure that she remembers who you are. If she left you doubting your worth, let your glow up and your comeback be the answer. Not to prove her wrong, but to remind yourself that you were never broken, only redirected. What if you made you the project? What if you built something so powerful that even the memory of her couldn't distract you anymore? What if every time you felt that ache in your chest, for instance, you did 20 push-ups, wrote 200 words, learned a new skill, posted a piece of content, added to your empire? Because here's the truth no one tells you. Okay? Women respect men who build. Men with vision, men with momentum. So if she couldn't see your value before, let her watch you become the kind of man that she can't even reach now. Your obsession was never the problem, it was your target. Now aim it at the life you were meant to create. And if you're serious about turning all this heartbreak into your next level, I've created something just for you. It's called the Pain to Power Playbook. It's a powerful audio guide that shows you how to transform emotional pain into focus, discipline, and real confidence over the next 7 days. It's not just theory, it's battle-tested strategies that have helped thousands of men go from stuck to unstoppable. I'll leave a link in the description. Just download it, use it, and start building a version of yourself that you'll regret losing. Guys, letting go isn't weakness, it's power. It's saying, I deserve someone who chooses me, who doesn't make me beg for love. So if she couldn't see your value, maybe she wasn't meant to hold it in the first place. Let that sink in. My name is Jessica OS. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.